So you want KAFKA along with 98% of the rest of the player base. I get that. I understand it entirely. But there's one little thing you're probably not considering on her banner. Luka. So why aren't you thinking about Luka? It doesn't make much sense, right? Who's Luka? The guy that looks like fire, but for some reason he's physical? That guy? It turns out he's really good. Really good. So now you're probably wondering, why does he work with KAFKA so well? Well, no secret, he's Nihility as well. Pretty basic stuff. But you're probably not considering his DOT is bleed. And that's a big deal. Why is it a big deal? Okay, well, look, you idiot. It's probably the best DOT variant in the game in terms of shield breaking. Bleed does the most damage out of all of the dot variants in the game upon shield break. It is so damn powerful. Now, I'm not going to go break it down the science because, quite frankly, I'm not going to read all that, so I don't expect you to. It's like attending an algebra class. No one wants to be there, okay? So I'm just going to kind of give you the general consensus of essentially what it all means, all this insane stuff. If you can proc bleed on him, you are seriously setting up KAFKA for some of the biggest damage you could possibly ever imagine with her. How do you proc bleed? It's pretty simple. You got two options with Luka to proc bleed. You have his skill, which inflicts bleed 100% of the time on a 3-turn duration, or alternatively, you can also use his technique. The only downside I could possibly think of regarding all this is the fact that it's going to really only help single target in terms of Luka synergy with KAFKA, not everyone around the whole lot. I'm going to use Serval there because I have the best Serval in the world, not up for debate. So, he adds bleed to a target with 2 different variants. That's great. Why is that good for KAFKA? I'm going to explain this to you like you're 5 years old because math is hard. The reason this works so well for KAFKA is purely for the fact that she had a really insane Eidolon. Up. Shut up, I'm getting to it. Don't need the Eidolon. Back in the Stone Ages, her Eidolon would inflict damage of all the DOT currently on enemies as one giant nuke, essentially. It's the best way to put it, right? But that was the Stone Ages. That has now been added to her skill in her kit. You don't need the Eidolon anymore. At least I think so. I've been linked every single day for the past like 2 weeks because there's been so many changes with her. I don't know what's real and what's not. I am losing my grasp of reality. So if you haven't connected the dots yet, you see what I did there? Dots, I'm gonna kill. Let me do the most basic math for you so we can kind of figure out what's going on here. Luka's skill, inflicts bleed. Inflict bleed upon shield break. The most damage any dot on shield break can do. And then KAFKA skill, massive damage. That's massive damage. Damage number big. That's what we're getting at. And don't even get me started on Pella, okay? You add Pella to this mix, it would create an explosion with that defense shredder that Oppenheimer would be fond of. Getting Luka is only really going to benefit your KAFKA if you are going to try and make a DOT team. You could also add Sampo into the mix, but I'm not a Sampo enjoyer, so I don't really know much, okay? I don't know much about that guy. He's level 1 on my account. I refuse to even put him up to 20. That's a story for another video. Anyway, if this video did help you, I really would appreciate if you say subscribe to the channel or follow the Twitch. This was an interesting experience. If you follow the Twitch, I've got my pulls and I've also got viewer pulls. I think we've done the math. I've probably gonna pull for KAFKA like a couple hundred times. Oh, you're not sold on the Twitch. Okay, let me show you a couple clips to kind of show that we're really massive, sane people over there. When like the 7-year-old least expects it, boom! My mic cuts out. Ready? I'm losing my brain! Use Quantum on Zilla? Hope that did this job. If not, then I'll never see you again. Thanks for your time, I guess.